He was not just a warrior. He was a force that could not be stopped. A hunter, feared in the desert. A man of strength, pride, and power. But one moment, one decision, would change everything. Because the man who once lived for the world would give his life for something far greater. This is the story of Hamza ibn Abd al-Muttalib. Around the year 568 CE, in the city of Mecca, a child was born into the noble family of Quraysh. His name was Hamza ibn Abd al-Muttalib. From the very beginning, Hamza was different. He was strong, fearless, and drawn to the harsh life of the desert. While others lived within the safety of the city, Hamza chose the wilderness. He became a hunter, tracking animals across the desert, reading the land, understanding movement, patience, and survival. These were not just skills. They shaped him into something far greater, a warrior, before he even held a weapon in battle. As he grew, so did his reputation. Hamza became known for his courage and his unmatched strength. No one could ignore his presence. He walked with confidence, spoke with authority, and lived without fear. But his life, like many others in Mecca, was still tied to the traditions of his people. Then, everything began to change. The message of Islam started to spread across Mecca, a message that challenged power, pride, and belief. At first, Hamza was not part of it, but one day, everything changed. He returned from hunting, only to hear that his nephew Muhammad had been insulted and harmed. In that moment, something inside Hamza ignited. Not hesitation, not doubt, but anger. Pure, unstoppable anger. Without thinking, he walked directly into the gathering of Quraysh. His presence alone silenced the room, and with a single act of defiance, Hamza made his position clear. He stood with Muhammad, not quietly, but with strength. In that moment, Hamza ibn Abd al-Muttalib accepted Islam, not after long debate, not after hesitation, but with the same force that defined his life. From that day forward, he was no longer just a hunter, no longer just a warrior. He became something else, a defender, a protector, a man who would stand between danger and truth. With Islam in his heart, Hamza changed, not in strength, but in purpose. His power was no longer for pride. It was for something greater. When the time of battle came, Hamza stood at the front. At the Battle of Badr, he fought with unmatched courage. Every movement was controlled, every strike precise. He was not just fighting, he was protecting something he believed in. And the believers saw it. They saw his strength, his fearlessness, his loyalty. Hamza became known by a name that would never be forgotten, the Lion of God. But the path of greatness is never easy, and soon a greater test would come. At the Battle of Uhud, the atmosphere was different. The enemy returned, seeking revenge. The battlefield was tense, uncertain, dangerous. Yet Hamza did not step back. He moved forward, fearless, as always. In the chaos of battle, he fought with the same courage, the same strength, the same unwavering presence. But destiny had another plan. In a moment, everything changed. The Lion of God fell. The battlefield grew silent, not because the war had ended, but because something greater had been lost. Hamza ibn Abd al-Muttalib was no longer among them, but his legacy had only just begun. He was not remembered for how he fell, but for how he stood, for the courage he showed, for the truth he defended, and for the strength he gave to those around him. Because some men do not live long lives, but they live powerful ones, and their story does not end. It lives on in every generation, forever.